Alrighty, fans, farm. Let's take 3. Today we're going to install this Renogy battery monitor. I'm going to replace the one I have. I got a PZE monitor, and so inside the box here we have the instructions. We've got the monitor itself. There's the connection right there. This is the RBM 500 monitor, and this is looks like the 500 amp shunt. Got the power cord right here. Got the shunt right here, and it even says, I don't know if you can see it, it says 500 amp, 75 millivolt. I got the connection area here, and then we have the cord, cord for all the brains. It's quite a long cord. It's 6 meters, so it's at about almost 20 feet. And the reason why is so you can move this monitor way away from where your batteries are set up, so you don't have to do what I do, which is come over here. And I just have a little, my little 400 watt solar setup. So I'm going to be replacing this shunt and that battery monitor. It seems to be working, although I still have yet to figure out. I've watched some stuff on this. Because right now I have 2 lights on, and looks like we're drawing 300. Well, I guess we got to let it settle in. But so I've had this running for about 2 weeks now, and it's up to 397 amp hours capacity, which I've got 2 100 amp hour batteries, so I should have 200 amp hours. And that's really what I want to know, is how many I have left. So we're going to take this one out. It's kind of an old school. It's got all the wires connected to it. And this one is a little bit smaller, so I'm going to have to enlarge this hole a little bit. But I'm going to go grab some tools, and I'm just going to pull the wires out of this hole right here and pull them back up through here, so I can have the other wires back behind this board. So anyway, we'll come back in a few minutes. I gotta get some tools, turn everything off, and we'll come right back. Alrighty, fans, farm life. Okay, first thing we're gonna do is disconnect the power in here, and I just have this little switch right here, circuit breaker. Just pop that open, and so that, if you can really see that, I don't know, it's not a moon by the solar panel, so we're not getting any more power coming in. We're just using the battery. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect that shunt right now. Can't remember which one this was. We can just go down a little bit like that. Can't remember which one. Is it this one? There we go. And we'll go ahead and disconnect the power here. And I think, okay, there we go. Okay. All right, power's off. And we'll disconnect these. Disconnect this one. And get the rest of these off of here. It's disconnected. Alrighty. Whoa. All right, well, that's going to happen. That's going to happen. All right. Okay, get this one off. All right. Whoops. Don't know where that one went to either. Alrighty, let's just turn that off. Okay, so I got power off, obviously. And so let's go ahead and come right back here. Alrighty, fans farm life. I probably should have hit record a little sooner just to show you what I was doing here. I pulled this is the old power meter here with all the wiring, so I want this to come up obviously right to here and here. So the easiest way to do is just tape this to there and then just pull these up, pull that up. So now I got the cord in there. So we're gonna go and get it disconnected and get the shunt over here. So we'll be right back. Alrighty, fans farm life. So this monitor is a little bit bigger hole, or bigger than this hole. So basically just kind of lined it up like this and drew a little line here. So we're going to cut this out, cut a little bit of this out. Careful of that cord, and see if we can get this in there. I'm going to turn this off. You don't need to listen to that fiber tool, multi-tool going. Alrighty, fans farm life. Okay, got a bigger hole. That should fit. So alrighty, so we're gonna go. I was trying to make this shunt a little more user friendly, but since the B minus goes this side and the P minus goes to there, I'm gonna stick it in this way, and I do have enough. I can twist this just enough to get on there. And then I got enough extra on here, I can move that over. So I just need to get this situated just right so I can get it screwed in. So I'll have to take this off, get that one in, and then I got some screw holes here, here, and here. Then I'm going to get them screwed in. And then I'll go to hooking this up. So we come right back. Alrighty, fans farm life. So got the shunt secured, the plastic piece in there. And I'm very limited on this piece, so I kind of just had it hooked in here, set it down so it would hook in. So I'm going to go ahead and read a couple next steps on installing this. So it's the instructions. I know nobody reads these things, but first thing to do is connect this shunt. So we'll hook up the B minus to the battery, and then the P minus to the basically the charge area. It's going to go to the bus bar. And then we'll hook the positive to the battery, and then in the end we'll hook these up. And there's the cable, both ends of the cable are the same, so it didn't matter which one you hooked into. Let's see if we can make sure we're, yeah, so it doesn't matter which one goes where. They both, one goes into the shunt and one goes into the battery monitor. They're both the same. So stick that back down there. Alright, so let's get these hooked up. And if you recall, when I disconnected it, had a big spark come out of there, so I did turn off the inverter and I turned all the lights off. So let's hope we don't have that action again. And then let's see if we can get this in there right. Let's see what happens here. The light's pretty dim, so testing you, and I think I read do the B- first. So let's get this one off. And get this one in. I got plenty of room on this one. This off right now. I'm hoping you can see in there. I'll stick this back in here. This is only because that cord is pretty big. Something to support it with. Alright, now we're going to do the P-. There we go. There's that. Get it tightened up. so we got that tightened up. And then take the positive cable wire, and one end connects to the battery and the other connects to the shunt. Either one is okay. So what we have is this little wire here. You can see it. So what we have here is two green connectors. Either one's okay to use. Got a little screwdriver, and open this up a little bit if I can. Maybe the screwdriver's too big. Alright. Actually, I think, can't see anything, do a flashlight here. Okay, so let's try this the other way here. Just gonna go in back behind here. Actually, this one's already opened. Not yet. All right, I'm going to stop this and come back here. Alrighty, Fans Farm Life. It's getting dark in here. So yeah, this little screwdriver. I'm going to turn the light on. Maybe it'll help out a little bit. Got a little spotlight in there. So this little green box right here, it's got a little screw in here, and I had it unscrewed all the way. This wire is a little thick, so you have to kind of force it in there and then go ahead and tighten it up, and so we're good there now. And it says connect to the positive battery, and the other end goes to the shunt. So probably should do this backwards again, but now we know. So we're going to go ahead and disconnect this right now. Knowing that goes in there tight. We'll get it to the battery, and then we'll get it to the shunt. And we'll be right back, because this battery might be a little tricky. Alrighty, I don't know if you can see the battery down there. So we're hooked into the battery. And it says connect the shunt to the battery monitor. I see connect the red wire positive to the battery, then the other end to the shunt. Either one is okay. So there's two things here, like I said. Shove that in there, and I'm tighten it up. Okay, that's tight. That ain't coming out. I don't like all these wires. I have to do something with them. And then finally connect the shunt to the battery monitor and the screen. Connect the shunt to the battery monitor by the shielded wire, and then it'll come on. Alrighty, so the connection is right here. Right here. So we'll go ahead and connect this one, and I think it only goes one way. It's got a couple little grooves right here, and it's got some stick out things right here, so I think it just goes in like so. And then we'll take this end and kind of snake this up through here, and it's the same. It's got go, and there goes the monitor. So monitor comes on, and we're just going to do a quick check and see if it fits in there. Got to do a little massaging. All right, we'll have to do some massaging, but for right now. So we got it working. Whoops, got it working there. So I'm going to go ahead and I won't have anything turned on because the solar panels are turned off. So we'll go ahead and turn everything back on, and we'll see how we're going here. It does show 14 volts, so that's what we got going. Then we'll go ahead and set this up. So give me a few minutes, come right back. Alrighty, fans, Farm Life. I don't know if you can tell, this thing is blinking. And blinking means that this shunt is hooked up backwards. You have the B minus and the P minus. And the B minus, if you can follow this down, B minus right here, follow all the way down to the battery. The P minus right here, you follow that around, goes the bus bar, goes out bus bar and down into the inverter. So that's the way this instruction says it's to work. It's a little map right here, and I don't know if you can see this. It's kind of dark in here. But it says the B minus goes to the battery minus, which is right there. And then the P minus, which is right here, says it goes to the charge or output, which is to the inverter over there. And then the positive is right here, that goes to the positive wire. So this is hooked up according to this drawing, and then the cable goes in there and the cable goes in the back of there. So cable goes there, cable goes in there. So I'm not seeing where this is hooked up backwards. So I'm gonna do a little research. I can turn this off. I'll show you the settings. A little confusing too. I basically hold the OK button down, and that gets you to the settings. I set it. You hit this arrow right here. That'll take you back. Hit OK again, and you navigate to all of these. So I set it at 200 amp hours. Full is 14.4, 0, 10. Power off, I said 11. And I set my amp hours to 200. It's 100%. We're at 14.3. So I guess I got to figure out this blinking light. Do a little more research. Find out why this is seems to be hooked up right. So anyway, we'll come back when I got the answer to all this and see what's going on. Farm Life out. Alrighty, fans, Farm Life. Kind of figured this out. So the instructions say if this thing is flashing, you got the shunt hooked up backwards. But flashing also means that your batteries are charging. So it's flashing right now. It says I'm at 98% and 194 amp hours. And if you also look down, it says 13.7 volts, 6.4, 6.3 to 6 point whatever amps plus sign, and 82.5. All right, it's kind of fluctuating, 77, 82. Anyway, amp hours or watts. So that's the total of what's coming in. So I've got amps coming in, which if you go up to my charge controller, and it shows 5.79 amps coming in, 5.93, so it's fluctuating 6, depending on, it's kind of sunny day today. So this plus number is a combination of what's going in, what's coming out. So more is coming in than going out. That's why we had the plus number. Now the 54 minutes. Now since we're on plus side, that means in 52 minutes now, the battery will be fully charged. And it will stop blinking. We're at 13.7, 13.6, 13.7 volts. So I'm going to go ahead and turn a couple things on in here, and we'll come back and see how that, amperage changes. Let me try to get close to this little tripod here, so you can try to see it. I got this little tripod and there we go. So now we'll turn some lights on and we'll see how that amperage changes. So I turned on a couple of 12 volt lights, and I turned on a 110 light. So now we're still bringing in more than we're taking out, but we're now bringing in only 2 amps. So now my battery says it's going to take 2 hours and 8 minutes, 2 hours and 14 minutes to get fully charged. And that's all based on the sun. Cloud comes through, now it might go into the negative. So when you read the instructions and it says this thing is flashing, that it's hooked up backwards, that's not completely correct. Flashing means you're charging, and if you have a plus or minus amps, that means you're either drawing more than you're bringing in, or you're bringing in more than you're using. And the timer, so if you look at closely at the, if I can get it in there close enough, the 194 amp hours, you have a little arrow, a couple arrows that are going up. That means the battery is charging. Now if those arrows go downwards, that means we're using, the arrows would be pointed down, and this little plus would actually be negative. So you know it's working when those arrows are pointed up and you have a plus in your amps. So I was a little worried I had it hooked up wrong, but after doing a little bit more research, that's how this thing operates. And this is why I wanted this one, and I wanted to see how much was left in my battery overnight. And I have an inverter on, it draws power. My charge controller draws power, and this thing also will draw some power. So I just wanted to see, I never knew what my battery status was. So it's important when you hook this up that your battery is fully charged. And mine was, I think, 14.3, 14 point, something like that. So it's pretty good. And that, or completely discharged. But if it's completely fully charged, then you can make this 100%, put in however many amp hours. I have 2 100 amp hour batteries hooked in parallel, so I got 200 amp hours. So that's where we're sitting there. And I think I went over this the other day to change your parameters. Hold that in. So, which is interesting, like I have a power off one. One I was looking at had an alarm, which would be under amp hours. So, so this is where you set all of your stuff at. You hit this OK. And Then let's see what we do here. I think you hit it okay again. Yeah, so now hit okay again. Now this is highlighted. You can change your amp hours by going up and down. So you hit OK, hit OK, and then they can change it. I'm not going to change anything, so hit the back. Now that's blinking. Go down to your voltage. So you go down to your voltage, you can change that. You go down. Okay. That just moves you over to the next number. You got it all. So, and then that'll go down to the next one. You're done with that one. Oh. Keep it where you want it. You go down to the next one. Oops. And then you change that one. And then when you're completely done, you just hold this in. Hit it again and it goes back. So I hope this helped clear up some stuff for anybody when you get this flashing light. Because the instruction manual just says if it's flashing, you got the shunt hooked up wrong. So I'm going to leave some lights on, see what happens overnight, see how much this drains down. So I hope this helped anybody, and if you know more about this than I do, please leave some comments. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer them. I'm not an expert at this stuff, I'm just kind of experimenting around. So anyway, go ahead and like and subscribe, and Farm Life out.